Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Pastor Cord here. Grateful that you guys took a few moments to join us on this video. I want to say a big thank you to Pastor Carrie and her team for the way they were able to be there for you all this weekend after we talked about a difficult topic of learning how to relinquish the keys to our proverbial car, to recognize that we're not great drivers and that we at times make poor decisions, and those decisions lead us down paths that we have to get off of. And the way that we do that is we repent, we make changes. And so I want to say a big thank you to Carrie and her team, and just very grateful for all of you that made that decision this weekend across all of our campuses to say, listen, I'm ready to make that change, I'm ready to make that turn, and I'm ready to repent. And we're praying for you all, and we want you to know that we're here in any way we can to help you move forward. If there are those of you that still have that lingering feeling, the move of God in you, that Spirit speaking to you, listen, we all can relate to that. We know that feeling, and we're grateful that our God is patient in that journey. So I know that you may be feeling awash with that conviction and that struggle. I can assure you that God is very patient and understands that struggle. He tells us so through the writer of Hebrews, that our God is a God whose Son understands our struggles and understands our weaknesses and always gives us grace and mercy in our time of need. And so I want to encourage those of you that still might be wrestling with the struggle to give up the keys to your proverbial car and say, listen, I'm not a great driver, I haven't made good decisions, that we're here to help you, to have those conversations, to pray with you and to walk with you through that process. And we're honored that we serve a God that's so gracious and waiting for us to make that decision. And I want to encourage all of you to just be reminded that our God is not the kind of God that punishes based upon our severity of sin. Jesus said so, as we read the passage this weekend, that that's an absolute no. So there's not an equation in play in your life. Sometimes there's consequences with our decisions. Sometimes bad decisions lead to bad things happening. But to equate that with a God whose first and foremost goal is to see all of us return home, that's not the way he operates. And we're praying for each of you to feel that love and that draw to God so that we can love him because he first loved us. We're excited to continue this series this weekend. Pastor Ben will be up, and we'll be looking at a passage in John 9, a familiar story to many of you, new to some of you. And the whole idea is that people who watched God move had some serious questions. And what we want to encourage you with this weekend is to know that we may not always know what God's up to. Just like many of us weren't aware of what God was up to in the lives of people this weekend, we find ourselves seeing things and having a hard time processing it, like many of the Jews were, even this man's parents were, and yet God is always up to something. And so I want to encourage you to come back and be encouraged that even though we may not understand everything that's happening in our lives or in the lives of people around us, our God's always up to something. And so we want to encourage you to come back and be a part of that this weekend. Listen, we love you, as Joe says. We love being your pastors. And thank you guys once again for a great weekend. We look forward to seeing you this weekend.